Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Dollies and welcome back to Stoneblock 3. In the last episode, we were working on this monstrosity. This is our automation for, well, getting resources. So we have gravel, cobblestone being made, turned into gravel, which is then separated with these brass tunnels into different paths. One goes off to be split into things to be crushed as well as things to be washed. The other one goes here to be turned into dirt, which then gets turned into sand, which then also gets split to be turned into soul sand, which is then washed, or the sand itself is washed or turned into dust, which is then washed. A lot of washing, a lot of things, and yeah, basically we have a huge system. Now I've added a little bit to it. So we have another fan, which is going to eventually be blasting all of these raw ores into actual things that we can use, so ingots and whatnot. And that's what we're gonna do. That's one of the things we're gonna do today. So this is the system I have. I have a water wheel down here, which is actually getting the same water as up there. I just have it being sped up twice so that the fan blows further. And then I have not only brass tunnels, but also two filters that we will end up using to separate things out. And yeah, so I want to test. The first thing we're going to do today is we're going to test out whether that is enough distance for things to get smelted. And that is, or I guess it would be technically blasted. Also, I'm really getting tired of slimes. We're going to do something about that as well today. But this episode and the next episode are going to be a little bit strange. Because I'm actually leaving for a trip tomorrow. And I'm not going to be able to record any more episodes. And this is the last series I need to get a little bit ahead on. I'm going to be gone for like almost 2 weeks. So I need to get some recording done. And it's kind of difficult to do much in this one because there's a lot of prep work that takes place. So we're gonna do what we can, and I have a few things I want to work towards, so we'll get that. But first things first, let's make this thing, which is the mega torch. Actually, you know what? We'll make the mega torch later. We don't have enough gold smelted yet. So one thing I want to make is a grindstone. Not grindstone. Why do I always think it's grindstone? It is a stone cutter. This block is amazing, and I don't use it nearly enough. Let's grab a piece of iron. Luckily we do have a good bit of iron, and we can make a stone cutter that we can then use for I want to turn some stone into stone slabs, and the reason for this is for the lava. So what I want to do is I want to actually put the lava right here. And we can't do this, can we? No. So this is the problem. Also, stop. We need to get lava in here, and that is kind of an issue. But that doesn't cut the water off over there, does it? It does. Alright, that is where we need to kind of figure out where things are going. So the water here, we don't have to use the same water. There's honestly not much reason for that. But what we can always do is something like that. And is that still working? Yes, that is working just fine. Okay, so we can clean this up a little bit. I know that the water wheels and everything will work just fine if I cover them up, but I don't like to. It feels wrong. So with that, we should be able to put lava here, and it should go down there, and we are getting blasted. Now, oof, that is not good. Alright, can we get into the water? No. Let's go get into water before we burn and die. That would not be nice. Okay. That is very, very hot. And as you can see, it does look like it is going a decent ways. So let's do that. That should not affect the thing. And we're going to put that over top because we don't need to access the lava anymore. So, does this have enough time to smelt what we want? We shouldn't get more than one, but let's take this stack of 4, and we're gonna throw it right here. And I just want to see and make sure that it is going to get smelted before it reaches the end. So, I went, okay, it should be fine then. And then gets taken over there, and perfect. Okay, so this is currently off. Now, eventually we're going to have glass everywhere, and I was very liberal with the gearboxes because these things are really useful for conveyor belts. But right here we're going to have a brass tunnel. And we're going to need 2 filters. But the filters are going to be almost exactly the same. So I believe Create uses the terminology deny list and allow list. And what we're going to do is we're going to make basically 2 exact copies of all the ores. So 10 copper, zinc, iron, gold, osmium, whatever that is, lead, and bauxite, and silver, nickel. That should be everything. So we have what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's go ahead. The ways we're getting ores is gravel mostly. So we have 10 different things. Gravel we are crushing. That's giving us 2, 4, 6. Washing it does not give us anything. And then washing sand, dust doesn't give us anything. Soul sand doesn't give us anything. But sand is giving us 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more. Okay, so perfect. So we just make a list like this. And silver, zinc, copper. And we do this with both of these. Now one is going to be an allow, and that is going to go right here. And then this one is going to be a deny, and we're going to deny the same thing so that they only have one direction they can go. Now, if the outputs are, if neither of the outputs are available, then it doesn't go anywhere. So, theoretically, we should be able to turn this on, and it will just work. So we'll keep an eye on it for right now. And I want to do one last test, and it doesn't matter too much if it works or not, but let's take this entire stack. This is basically 64 iron, and we're going to throw it down and see if that all gets smelted. So that's really the only other test, is what's the limit. And this takes a second to kind of warm up, to start moving things around, but it will get there. So it did not smelt any of it. So if the stack is too big, it just won't get smelted, and I'll see that in here. So eventually I will probably clean out this chest, and then we can kind of see from there what we need to do. If we need to slow this thing down, then that's fine. But you can see already the iron is getting split off. It is starting to smelt, and it should be smelted before it gets there. One way we can kind of make things better is if we increase the power on the fan. It looks like all the ores are going that way, and it's working just fine. So, perfect. This is what we want to see. And, yeah, ingots. Cool. So we have automated systems. Now, what we're going to do for most of today, we're going to make the torch, the mega torch. Which, speaking of which, let's go ahead and grab the gold, and we'll go ahead and do like, see, can it do 8? So the more ore that is on the belt, the longer the processing time is. So if it can manage 8, and it looks like it can, I should be able to just smelt all this up. And it stopping is actually a good thing, but if it doesn't smelt everything up, that's fine too. But I'll kind of manually smelt all of the ores in here eventually, and that will be great. So, in order to make the mega torch, we're going to need 2 diamonds, 3 torches, which we have. Some gold. We're going to need a lot of gold. We're going to need... So we don't need brass tunnels anymore. We don't need that anymore. Don't need the brass funnels. Gearboxes we can put away for right now. Okay, so the mega torch, we're going to need some wood as well. So if I have 2 gold, which I do believe I do, we should be able to make a mega torch. And the only reason I want this thing is to stop all of the slimes. I'm getting tired of the slimes. So let's grab the gold. And then for the rest of today's episode, what we are going to work on is we are going to be working towards better food. So I want to start getting a couple more ingredients around and start working on Farmer's Delight. Now, this is a mod that we're going to need to do stuff with later anyways. Big torch. So that should stop hostile mob spawns, and I believe it includes slimes, so I shouldn't have to worry about that anymore. And I really hope it works, because I'm getting tired of the slimes. But yeah, so today we are going to work on getting food. So let's get the random reward. That is perfect. So we got a skillet. That is a Farmer's Delight item. So what we need to do, let's get the... So what we need to do is we need to start working towards food. Now, later on in the mod pack, we're going to need a lot of different foods to make ultimate stews. And it doesn't look like any of this is particularly good. So none of it has EMC, which is really, really annoying. So we're going to have to actually craft this stuff. And in order to do that, we're going to need a lot of hamburgers. We're going to need, beef patties, which is just cut up beef. That's not too terrible. But we're going to need to get raw beef from cows. And we're going to need to get cabbage, onions, tomatoes, all this kind of stuff. So how do we get tomatoes, for example? Well, tomato seeds can be gotten from, well, nothing. The only way to get tomato seeds is to get tomatoes. Now, there are tomato shrubs, and to get those, we need mycelium, and we need to crook it. How do we get mycelium? Well, there's a couple ways. This requires compost and slag. Probably not going to be the best way. This requires magic. I don't know how to do that stuff. I'm going to have to learn that. Or we can use metallurgic infuser. We have metallurgic infuser. we just need mushrooms. And it can be any of the mushrooms, so let's start there. We need to get some brown mushrooms. We can get that from soul sand. Alright, that is actually easy enough. So we cook soul sand, and we'll get mushrooms. Let's see, we can move things around. So we have a stove from Farmer's Delight. We have a skillet. We're not going to get too much into a lot of the, like, actual baking of items and whatnot today. I just want to start getting some of the resources that we're going to need later. So I should have, hopefully, I have a good bit of sand. And I'm hoping, yeah, we're just going to steal this soul sand. I don't need much in terms of the mushrooms. If we just get one, that's really all we need. So let's just do something like this. And let's get the crook. And we got mushrooms. Alright, perfect. We even got a mushroom colony, which this is used for... We can cutting board it to get a bunch of mushrooms. So let's go ahead and make... is it just a stick and a diamond? Let's go ahead and make a diamond knife and a cutting board. Now, does this have... has cabinets? That is something I think we're going to make, just to make things look a little bit nice. So let's grab a diamond. Man, look at all those ingots. It's nice. It's nice to see. And then we're going to want to have our metallurgic infuser, which we have right here. Let's get this guy set up. So what we're going to want to do, let's go ahead and in here get some planks, get some trapdoors, and we're going to make just an oak cabinet. That is... oh, it's slabs. Okay, that's easy enough. Less wood. And then we also need to get a cutting board, which does require some sticks. I had some sticks. Where did I put the sticks? Whatever, we'll make more sticks. And let's get the cutting board. And let's find a good place for this. Let's just do this right over here for right now. Cutting board on top, and then we are going to want to make a diamond knife. And this is used to cut things up. So we can put the mushrooms on here, and we can chop them up. And cool thing is you can store the knife on the cutting board. It is so nice. I actually do really like that. So we have a bit of mushrooms. Now I want to not throw it on the ground. I want to save one of each because we can pretty easily grow more. And this is kind of the plan, is we're going to eventually have all of these crops growing in botany pots. And we're going to be able to have that stuff automatically kind of working in the background, and it will be great. So we have some extra mushrooms, just making sure that they're in there. And now if we want mycelium, that's not what I meant to do. So if we want mycelium, we need 10 fungi. And each fungi it's a 1-to-1. Okay. So we can make a little bit of this stuff. Let's just take all 18 dirt that I currently have. If I ever need more dirt, I'll probably just... 6. I'll probably just make it by hand. But we can get some mycelium. And this, I believe, is really good to grow mushrooms on. Wouldn't surprise me anyways. Let's see. Oh, no, it is just a standard 1x time. Interesting. So this will get us mycelium. Now, other things we have is the stove, which acts as a campfire. And I believe we can put the skillet on top. I really dislike that doing that makes all of this glow light can grow. Just need to figure out where it all is. And I don't have to worry about it. Okay. So we have our 6 mycelium, and this is going to be how we get various seeds. So one thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to leave one behind because we can grow more mycelium, much like grass, I do believe. It's been a while since I've done that, but I think that is a thing you can do. And let's go ahead and cook this. And we got, what did we get? Carrots, cabbages, onions, and tomatoes. Now, of the crops, we have cabbage, tomato, we have tomato, onion, so we're just missing rice, and it looks like, yeah, wild rice, and that's really it. So if we can just get some rice, that's all we need. Let's grab more of our dirt and see if this does actually work. I don't believe we can do anything to get it to spread faster, but I do believe it will spread. So in order to get these to be, we can just grow these. We can also, looks like we're gonna have to cut them all, so that's fine. Let's do that. And you know, tomatoes, we get tomato seeds, onions, we get onions, and we got some magenta dye. Cabbage, we got cabbage seeds, and this is all stuff that we're gonna want to grow. The carrots I care a lot less about because we have carrots from other things. And that is good. Okay, so we can put all that stuff away. We don't need more soul sand right now. So really the only thing, I mean, we will need beets at some point, and we can get beets a couple different other ways as well. So let's see, sea beets turn into beetroot seeds, and you can get beetroot seeds from just normal dirt. It's a 30% chance. It's not too bad. So that is going to be good. Now, we are also going to need a cooking pot at some point, and I've got to remember how to use this. You need to have it over a heat source, so we might want to luck out and get another stove from a random reward. I don't know that we have another one, but if we did, that would be awesome. So it's going to be something that we're going to have to do. Now, next episode, because this is a good wrapping up point, I'm going to let the mycelium spread. I'm going to let stuff process and work through. I'm probably not going to get to the storage system just because I have limited time to do anything. But it looks like I'm going to take all of the unsmelted ore out of here and work through this. So nickel, silver, copper. Most of the stuff we don't really need the raw ore regardless. And it looks like that's all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all started to process. And we should be good to just let this run constantly now. I want to get glass here and let that happen, but yeah, we are running out of food. I might temporarily set up some botany pots, and I don't know what is going to be a nice easy food that's not too terrible to make. So a lot of these require the cooking pot. They're terrible in general because they are very complex, but we should be able to do, like, mutton wrap requires bread, a lot of milk, milk bottles, and so we're gonna have to get a lot of different things. But just a pretty quick introduction to Farmer's Delight, and once we get all the crops, we can then start growing them all and have a nice system over that direction. We'll have another conveyor belt bring things in from this way, and it'll be great. So that is the plan for the future. Next episode, what we're going to work on is thermal. We're going to do some thermal crafting. We're going to do some questing. There is a whole chapter on the thermal series. We're going to try to get through most, if not all of it, and just try to get stuff going. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Sorry that it's a little bit shorter, and well, it's not that much shorter, but it's a little bit more disjointed. Didn't get too much done, but we got a lot of stuff to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!